Hello, and welcome back to episode 9 of Yapology 101. Today, we're going to be talking fashion. And if you've come back for all 9 episodes of this podcast, what are you doing? Subscribe now. Now that I've got that out of the way, we're going to talk about fashion and style and how to cultivate your own style. You guys have been asking me to make a video on this topic for quite a long time now. And today, I'm going to be going over that topic via podcast. Now, I find that a lot of people try and figure out what their style is by sticking to certain aesthetics or certain styles that already exist. There's been a corification of fashion recently, especially with TikTok. Everything has to be a core. Valentine core, pink core, bimbo core. God, see, what is it? Scene core now? There's also a thing called scene core, which makes like zero sense. It's you can be seen. I don't know where the core comes from, but it's this obsession with cores and aesthetic markers and putting yourself in one box and having to follow all the rules that is in that one box. And then when you want to break a rule, you have to ask, what style is this now? It's not always a style that necessarily exists. You're putting your own spin onto a style that you are enamored with. Now you've put a personal twist on it. There's no new style. You've just created something that is uniquely yours. And I think we need to start approaching fashion in a way that is uniquely ours. Now, I know for a lot of individuals in this country, in America, there's a huge individuality crisis. Everybody wants to be different. And it's led to the point where we cannot relate to other people, especially if we have like a swag gap. I've heard this swag gap thing all over the internet. But in reality, this really has nothing to do with wanting to develop your style. Like, that's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a factor. It doesn't have to be an ego trip thing. It doesn't have to be about, I'm the biggest individual of all time. No one is like me. You don't have to approach fashion in that way. But at the same time, approaching fashion in a unique way that's tailored to you and what you actually like and not trying to fit into someone else's box of what they like, it's not necessarily a bad thing to do that. It's not bad to be an individual when it comes to fashion. I don't think that's not where individuality causes a problem, I don't think. Because when we're focusing on fashion, just the way that you intuitively pick the clothes or accessories that you're going to wear, it's going to be coming from an instinctual place, an intuitive place. You know what you like, and when you hold yourself back from wearing what you actually like because it doesn't fit into some sort of style that you think you need to fit into, you're taking a lot of the fun aspects of fashion out of the equation. You can have fun with fashion. You can have fun trying to figure out how to style yourself. It doesn't have to be stressful. And it doesn't have to fit anyone's predetermined box. I think that a lot of people are worried about this, though, because a lot of us are on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, and we're seeing all this content, especially if you're into fashion, you're seeing all this content that's being pushed by all these different subcultures. You'll have, you can't do this in this subculture, you're no longer a part of this. Or you can't do, and that's strictly pertaining to fashion choices. I'm not talking about political choices. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about fashion choices. And when I've called this out previously online, I've had a lot of these people from, by the way, I just used one community as an example, a community that I have some limited experience in, but really do love and take inspiration from, was I used Gyaru as an example, and the Gyaru community came to bite me in the ass. But I really wasn't only talking about them. I find this to be a tendency in like every fashion subculture, where it's like someone adds a personal twist to something, and then everyone comes and dogpiles on them because they're, that accessory isn't supposed to be in this subculture. You're no longer a part of this, or you're fake, or you new blah blah blahs don't know anything about this subculture. You need to research and take your time. But it's like, that's not necessarily what fashion is about for everyone. And from my personal philosophy, I think that's a really lame way to enjoy fashion. You know, it's almost like, let me make a list about this subculture of what's acceptable in the subculture, and every morning I'm going to look at this list. I'm going to figure out, can I wear this or can I not wear this because I want to be a part of this thing. And it's just like, I feel like fashion should be a lot more personal than that. Not that there's anything wrong with having certain communities for certain fashion subcultures. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when you lack all individuality because you're trying to fit in and follow all these arbitrary rules, in my opinion. Because fashion isn't supposed to be arbitrary. It's supposed to be genuinely enjoyable and fun and creative and spontaneous almost. It doesn't have to be super well thought out to be a great outfit for you. That's another thing is I feel like there's been a lot of obsession over a cleaner look for everyone. This is like male, female, in between. It's always a cleaner look. Everything has to look super, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like super plain, super like monochrome, super minimalistic. And I'm not knocking minimalist fashion, but at the same time, I kind of don't like it. I'm kind of not a big fan of it. I like a bit of, here I'm going to use a norm core, like normal people clothes. And then, but you know what I mean? Like sometimes that looks cool. But what I can't wrap my head around is like, I'm going to wear athleisure wear. And not any fun athleisure wear, nothing like actually sporty, just something really basic and bland, beige or black or something, and an ill-fitted crop top or something like that, or like a hoodie. Oh my God. Or Uggs. And Uggs are not bad, but it's the type of Uggs you choose and how often you wear Uggs. And it's a specific type of Ugg. If you know, you know. But I'm not a big fan of that. Of like too simplistic when it comes to your fashion choices. And I feel like a lot of people who are trying to be better at fashion, they're not necessarily looking for how do I style something in the cleanest possible way. If you're genuinely interested in fashion and style, you're gonna want to think outside the box a little bit. You're not, there's a difference between dressing for survival, which is what a lot of people do with these clean outfits, and like dressing for yourself. And I feel like you don't have to be necessarily eclectic to dress for yourself, but the way that you think about fashion should be inherently eclectic. And this is what I mean. Even if your style is not eclectic, you have to take all the things that you like in your head. You can think about them or you can do it intuitively. Lay out like 5 things in front of you. Go to a thrift store, go to an actual clothing store and choose like 5 radically different things. And then lead with whatever your intuition is telling you. You're going to feel like a feeling, either in your stomach, butterflies, or you're going to feel very excited by like one singular thing, or you just feel a little bit more excited about one thing than another. You're probably going to want that one thing that you're excited about. And you might think, oh, but this doesn't match my shoes currently. That doesn't matter. You can figure that out as you go. It's just a matter of leading with intuition. Like when I'm looking for new accessories or new clothes or whatever, it's really easy to be blinded by trends and by micro trends, because whatever is hot right now is going to look better subconsciously to you. That's how a lot of people work. You'll think, oh, I like this, but it's actually just what's really popular right now. And then a few months down the line, you wore it once or you never wear it because it's just not something that is hot anymore. So you don't think it looks good anymore. There's a big difference between seeing something and thinking you love it because it's really hot right now, and waiting until that thing that's hot is not hot anymore and seeing if you still like it. Because it's not really about building a current wardrobe. You don't have to base your wardrobe around current events. That's not how you should be viewing fashion. It doesn't have to all be up to date. What's more important is that you like the thing that you're wearing. That's the main thing. Do you like it? Do you feel something when you look at it? And it's kind of like a Marie Kondo type of view when it comes to fashion, and not in the minimalistic sense, but in the sense where you're not creating unnecessary waste, and also clothes that you never wear and were never going to wear just because you saw it and you thought, this is really trendy right now, I'm going to buy this. And you're not alone. I've done this before. I've definitely done this before. I don't think any of us are completely armored when it comes to trends. Like we don't always know what we're actually feeling versus what is just marketing on steroids, because the way that people market nowadays is crazy. You think you like something because it's being marketed to you so heavily, when actually some of the best clothes I find are really random ones. It's not tried to be marketed to me. Nobody's talking about go and run and get this. When I've bought those things, it's been more like, did I make this choice because I like this thing or because somebody just advertised it to me? Do I actually like this? Or is the glamour and charm of advertisement what is getting me out to the stores to buy these things? I think it's a lot of learning to be very objective and kind of practical, because you can enjoy fashion spontaneously, but I've noticed that when I've led with this approach of spontaneity in shopping, I buy a bunch of shit that I never wear again, and it's a waste of time, and I don't find like my favoritist pieces ever, unless you have to kind of shop with intention. And as a spontaneous person, this has been hard for me because I just want to buy anything that has a semblance of, I think that's cool. Or a lot of the times the pieces that I've regretted buying were, oh, this feels like it fits into this aesthetic, so I'm gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Your fashion choices and your buying choices should be based off of what you are actually liking in front of you, and not, well, this is very Maury K. Okay, is that how you want to dress? Or is that just something that you heard and you were like, that sounds cool or that looks cool, but I'm probably never going to wear that? Did you ever think of that? That's what you need to think about when you're buying this stuff, is that sometimes it's not coming from a genuine place. That doesn't mean you're like an inauthentic person. You're just a person. And as people, it's kind of hard to be 100% decisive at all times. We're not robots. We can be indecisive. But a habit of becoming super indecisive when it comes to buying your clothes builds up a wardrobe that you will not enjoy, that you will not feel any joy picking out your clothes from, because half of them you don't even like them because you just weren't really thinking about it. And that leads me to stand in stores for pretty much hours. But I'm telling you, if you're actually trying to build a wardrobe that you enjoy, you kind of have to put in a lot of time to think about it, to really, really think about it, to look it over, to think, what do I have right now that I think would even work with this remotely? Do I have the ammunition to back this up? You got to think about that too, because building a wardrobe is kind of like, there's strategy to this. There's definitely strategy to this. And I would say I still have pieces that I never wear and that I don't know what to do with because they were impulsive purchases. But here's one way. If you've already done that, if you're in the same boat as me, what you're going to do is you're going to look at all these pieces objectively. And you're not going to lead from the heart space here. What you're going to do is you're going to look at these items and think, how many months has it been since I wore this? That's really all you have to do. And if you haven't worn it for months upon months, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it, because it never was meant to be in your wardrobe in that case. And where was I going with this? I think that the way in which you should be buying your clothes and thinking about buying your clothes and your accessories is you should really just do it from a place of wanting to dress that way, a place of actually wanting to dress that way, not because you're going to have a certain image to the world, because it's like you can try and build up your image and your reputation as much as you want, but whatever is really you is going to seep out. And do you want it to seem like you were hiding what's really you, and then it seeps out, and then people are looking at you crazy because, well, what are you doing? You're not being yourself, and we can tell, and now it looks creepy. Now it looks creepy that you don't want to be yourself, because it's like, why were you hiding that? When you could just lead kind of with your heart and your intuition and what do I actually like this thing? For a long time, I was like, oh, it has to be this version of girly, this version of, but guess what? Whatever version you create is your version of whatever it is you're trying to wear. Feminine clothes, I had this idea that a feminine outfit could only be done one way or the other. But then I realized that a lot of the pieces I had that I didn't even consider to be feminine, I was making them look that way by wearing them. Certain different clothes are going to look different on you than other people as well. But what I realized was that a lot of the tops that I had that didn't read as that were actually reading as that, but it was not in my preconceived notion of what could be feminine. So I like changed my perception. Like, it doesn't always have to be pink, for instance. I feel like a lot of us are like, oh, it has to be pink so it can be girly. Like, that's not true. Blue can be girly. Any color can be girly. It's like about the detail. It's about the aura of the pieces you're wearing. That's about it. It's not really like, I feel like a lot of you are like, there are specific conditions to each thing, and you can't really, that's not really possible with clothing unless you're making your own clothing. Then you can do it exactly how you want to. And this has been a problem for me too, because I wanted to be really specific about the thing that I was looking for or the thing that I wanted to wear. But sometimes the thing just needs to have the aura. It doesn't need to have like a specific strap. It doesn't need to have like long sleeves that I always wanted them to wrap around the hands. But then you can't always find that. But you find a piece that, okay, this has like the aura of what I'm going for here, and I like it. That's the most important thing as well, just reminding you, you have to like it. And you must be wondering, how do I know if I like something? How can I figure this out? And I'm not going to just say like lead with your intuition. I'm going to give you a fun way to do it, and a way that I've been doing for pretty much my whole life, just based off of trying to figure out my style, because I didn't always really know. I was just like, for me, it was like, if I liked something, I put it on. If I purchased something impulsively because it was trend, I usually didn't actually like it. But the things that I kept were things that were like more meaningful or sentimental or actually like underrated. The most underrated things in my closet were the things that I wanted to keep, and the things that I had rose-colored glasses about. It's rose-colored glasses. You have to take them off when it comes to your outfits, because you'll look back at pictures and think I look absolutely insane right now because I was just trying to follow something else that wasn't really me. But I've been through that a million times. But what I found has actually really helped me when it comes to cultivating my style and finding something that worked for me was playing fashion games. And I know this sounds kind of convoluted, and this might not work as well if you are or looking for men's fashion, rather. If you're looking for men's fashion, this might not be as helpful. However, I don't know if I've ever plugged this game, but I used to play this game a lot here on the channel. Dress to Impress has male bodies. So if you want to like use Dress to Impress on Roblox, that might work out well for you. That might work out well in trying to figure out what you like. But playing fashion games, this is how it helps. When you're playing a fashion game, especially where there are many different options, there are many different like auras to a style. For instance, the game that I've been playing recently is called Style Savvy. And if you were a girl who grew up, let's say 2005 to 12, I will say that range, you've probably played at least one Style Savvy game. And what's great about Style Savvy and how it's helped me try and figure out, like, how do I want to dress? What is the most me when it comes to fashion? Is, first of all, you become the owner of a boutique, and you restock the clothes. Those clothes will go into your inventory as well. And in the free dress up mode of the game, where you're just in your room and you're dressing up, you're free to put on as many different brands as possible. And in the game, you have to match certain people to certain brands based on their style. But when you get to dress up individually, this helps you understand your style a little bit more, because you don't have to adhere to a certain style like you do serving the NPCs in your boutique. Rather, you are simply, you are simply being allowed to mix and match as you please. And what I've found is having this catalog of clothing that I didn't actually have in real life, and being put in the position where I had to style something with no previous knowledge of styling, no professional knowledge of styling. It's very intuitive, and there are two ways you can go about it. And then you'll go through the cycle of, oh shit, this is just how it's like in real life. You'll go, oh, what style am I going for? And then you'll go, wait, I need to stop thinking with this set notion of a style. I need to stop thinking in this frame. Instead of thinking, what style am I trying to give with this outfit? It's more like, what's working right now? Put something random on your character. That's what I've been doing. I put one item, and then I have to style around that item. And it doesn't all have to be matchy and perfect, but it has to give the impression that I would wear it in real life if I had it. So that's what I've been doing, just playing a bunch of Style Savvy, dressing my character up, and it's been inspiring me about what I could do in real life. That's the fun part about these style games, is that there's no money that you have to really spend. You can mix and match and try a bunch of different stuff that you wouldn't be able to try in real life with this little avatar. And it's just a blast if you're trying to figure out how you want to dress and there's no risk taken. It's all fun. It's all very enjoyable. Especially if you're into fashion, you would love the games. But that's just one way that's been helping me trying to figure out, what do I really like? Do I like hats? What kind of colors do I like? What kind of length? Do I like pants? Do I like shorts? Do I like both? Would I wear a skirt? Would I ever wear this dress here? Do I like things muted? Do I like things loud and vibrant? Do I like a combination of these things? Do I like the color black? That's fine. You can dress in all black. Like, it's really up to what the hell do you like? And what I noticed is I liked really random ass shit. So I thought, okay, so if I can't commit to one style, and I've tried to commit to several styles throughout my life, it never worked. If I can't commit to one style, why not mix and match in real life? Why not mix and match with what I can mix and match with out of every style? Because everything is made to fit into some sort of look. But what makes it unique is how you put these things all together in one arena, which is you. You are the vessel taking shape of these pieces that might be very different. But because you are who you are and that's your energy and it's seeping through, it works for you because it's just you and you haven't compromised who you are to fit into a different type of image or an image that you thought. And it's another thing where you're like, I think this is really cool. I actually really like this. It's fine to devote yourself to one particular style. But I would say it shouldn't get to a point where you see something you like and you can't buy it or you can't wear it because it's not a part of that specific style that you want to fit into. That's when it gets a little bit too much. It's like, well, this isn't EGL enough, or this isn't Decora enough, or this isn't, I don't know. What are these new styles called? There's a bunch of new styles. When it's like, why are we compartmentalizing this so much when there doesn't have to be this many labels for everything? It's like how you walk into a Walmart and there's 20 flavors of Lay's chips now. It's too much choice for one human mind to interpret. It's like, why is there so many options here? And that makes it even more stressful for people, to where they feel like they have to fit into some sort of super hyper niche. And it's possible for some people, but if you feel weighed down by this, then you don't have to do it. I thought I had to do it. That's the preconceived notion that we all, I wouldn't say all of us, maybe all of us have about fashion, that it has to be a particular thing to be valid. And I would like to say something about taking inspiration. I've noticed that there's a lot of controversy about taking inspiration from other people, that it seems like every time someone takes inspiration from another person, there's a copying scandal going on. Oh, you're trying to be this person, or you're trying to cosplay as them, or I was the most authentic first. I like this thing first. I'm the real. And I said this in my vlog. I was like, all the fake Tommy February fans, but I don't actually care. It's not so much of a big deal. I don't understand the LARPing allegations, because sometimes you have to take inspiration from other living human beings to move forward with figuring out what kind of fashion you like. Like, it's fine to take inspiration. You're going to take inspiration from people your entire life. It's not a sin, and I think a lot of us have made it out to be something that it's not. Everyone steals. Everyone steals. Unintentionally, subconsciously, intentionally. It happens. And it's not necessarily a horrible thing. It's cool that we can all inspire each other in this way. I would say it's okay to have fashion icons, even if they're not supermodels. They don't have to be supermodels. They don't have to be models. They don't have to be fashion designers. They don't have to be fashion houses. They could be the lady at the corner store. You like the way that she wears her jeans, or you like this lady's bag. So go and get that lady's bag and put it together in your own way. There's nothing shameful about that. And I think that's one way that you can figure out what you like, because it's just natural. And I feel like a lot of us act like this is some sort of bad thing, when it's absolutely natural, and it helps you kind of understand yourself more. Because whatever you like, someone else can like it too. Like nothing is exclusive to one person. I think that's become another thing where it's like, I have to be the top of this fashion subculture so that I can be the face of it, and then claim everyone is copying me. And that's just strange behavior. That's the type of behavior that doesn't progress fashion in any way or style. Like it's not interesting. And it's better not to have such a mindset, because a lot of people are going to take inspiration from you even when you feel like you're not doing anything revolutionary. People are going to look at your outfit. You're going to think that was such a bad outfit, and they're going to be copying you. And then you're going to be mad that they copied an outfit you didn't like because they liked it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think stealing is a necessary part of figuring out what you like. But basically, you're going to want to find some sort of visualization method. Now, this can be through fashion games, like dressing up your character, styling other people. That's a great way to figure out, what do I like? What did I want to rip off of my character's body while they were doing their day-to-day things and I didn't change their outfit yet? Things like that. And you're also going to want to, if you're not a gamer per se, if you're not a gamer, Pinterest is like your greatest strength and your best friend in this process. Go on Pinterest and don't worry about the cores. Sometimes you'll have to look up certain cores or certain aesthetics to find things that you like. But the great thing about Pinterest is it has an algorithm. So whatever you do like, you're going to get more of it, or you're going to get similar things. You're going to be able to see things that you wouldn't have thought of before, and you just fall down the rabbit hole. You make like a Pinterest board. And in your real life, when you see things that are similar, oh, these flats kind of look like the ones that I saved to my Pinterest board. Oh, this jacket kind of looks, okay, I'll try this out. And you're probably going to like it as long as you're not adhering to some specific style. Because that just blurs, I think, a perception of if you like it or not. I feel like sometimes I've liked pieces that I wouldn't have liked in a million years, simply because it was whatever type of style that I wanted to do. And then I was like, oh, I don't actually like this. And then it's a waste of money and a waste of time. But another thing is, sometimes you have to do those things to kind of figure out what you like. Like, you have to wear something that you absolutely hate to know that I would never wear this again, And another point that I had not brought up previously is, I feel that a lot of people will not wear something if they think it's ugly. Now, hear me out. You're probably already commenting, why would anyone wear anything that they thought was ugly? It's because it's society's perception of what is ugly. A lot of the time, I like pieces that are kind of, other people would be like, who the hell donated this to the thrift store? Or, of course they're selling that. That shit is but ugly. But to someone else, that's what they think. To me, I actually like it. There's something about it that intrigues me and then entices me. And then maybe 5 other people had it in their bag, so I'm not alone in that. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to like the ugly choice. The choice that not everyone is going to agree is the nicest choice or the most fashionable choice. But you are making it fashionable because you're wearing it and you like it. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And it's actually a cheat code. If you prefer uglier or like weirder pieces, this is a cheat code to nabbing everything at the thrift store that you want, or online, or wherever you shop. Because those pieces no one else is picking them up because they're not daring. They're not daring with their fashion. If you like more daring fashions, you're going to want to not cut ugly things out of the equation, because a lot of the time what people perceive as ugly on themselves, they'll see on someone else and think, whoa, that looks so cool. Where did they get that? Then they wear it and they don't like it on themselves. It's the aura of a person. Sometimes it fits you, sometimes it doesn't fit you. But I think whatever you genuinely like is going to work on you. It's going to fit. I don't think there's a necessary need to be like, this doesn't suit my features. Does it really matter? Does it really matter if it suits your eye color? If that's the way you want to dress for the rest of your life, or if that's something that you like, instead of being forced into some other thing because of your color season or something or other. I don't really understand. I really want to get a color analysis. I kind of still do, but I also don't get the science behind it. I kind of understand it, but at the same time, sometimes I'll watch these videos and I'll think this girl looked really good in that color, but then they said that's her worst color. So whatever is your worst color, your best look, or your worst look, that's completely up to you. It's not, you're not being put in a tabloid and compared to fucking Beyonce wearing the same thing. That's not going to happen. You're just wearing whatever the hell you want to wear, and that's why you're wearing it. That's why when this question is being asked by me, I find it hard to explain. I find it hard to answer because the way that I dress is completely intuition and feelings based. It's opinions based. No, but it's definitely feelings based. If I'm feeling that I like something, then I'm going to want to wear it. So what? That's about it. And it shouldn't matter. There have been times where I didn't want to leave the house because I thought, oh, someone's going to look at me crazy for this, but I like it. And if you're feeling that way, they just might. But it's worth going out there the way that you wanted to go out there, no matter the response you're going to get. And I feel like the majority of the time where I took that risk, and this is not about external validation, but people would love my outfit because I wasn't super worried about it. It wasn't shown on my face that I was incredibly worried about how the public would perceive this outfit. I just didn't care. I just put it together. I liked it, and I decided I'm going out with it because this is your one life, the one opportunity you have. And also, what if, not to get morbid, what if you died that day? What would you want to be wearing? What if you became a ghost? And this is all hypothetical. Maybe ghosts aren't real. Who knows? But what if you became a ghost and that was like your forever outfit? And that's not to put too much pressure on you. That's actually quite a lot of pressure. But my point is that you should be doing things that you like to do today, including your fashion choices. They should be what you like to do today, because whatever you want to do tomorrow, that's tomorrow's business. Whatever you want to do in the past, that's the past's business. You don't have to stay consistent with anything. That's another thing about style that I've been trying to cultivate. I don't have to be consistent in my style because I'm not a product. I'm a person. I can change every day, and it shouldn't matter, because the change is experimentation and it's testing, and you have to be able to step outside the bounds of what you think is you to try something new once in a while and see if you like it, see if you don't, but at least you tried. And I think a lot of it is just taking risks and being audacious about the way that you dress and the things that you try. Like, you don't mind looking like an idiot for one day. Well, maybe you want to see if fedoras work out for you. Bro, just go put on the fedora and try it out. Go outside. And if you don't want to like die by the end of it, you've done a great job, I think. But and this is kind of superficial. I'm going to give you some tips that are kind of superficial. Okay. When it comes to shoes, a pair of shoes can drastically change your outfit. You can dress down the rest of your outfit if your shoes are super dressed up. And this is the same thing for a bag. Shoes, a bag, a hat can make any outfit work. Just accessorize. Get a little crazy with your accessorization. Huh? Oh, hair. That's a good point. So hair is almost nature's accessory. And what's great about it is it's not a part of nature that cannot be changed. You can change it. You can choose how you do your hair. You can choose what color your hair is. You can choose the length. You can choose the cut. You can choose, there are ultimate choices when it comes to hair. And the way that you wear your hair, the color your hair is dyed, can do all the work for your outfits. When I had my brown and black hair, I had to do a lot more with the outfits and the accessories to feel like myself, because I'm a bit extra. Even when I'm wearing less accessories, I'm like, how can I accessorize more? Which makes me an accessories hoarder in progress. But where was I going with that? Oh, yes. Hair can be your one accessory. It can be your one accessory. Dye your hair any unusual color. It will be your one accessory. Even blonde. But if you do blonde, just bleach it. Don't worry about putting highlights in it, because the moment that you put like darker highlights in your blonde, your outfit you're going to need to do more work on the outfit because it looks more natural. So what I'm saying is an unnatural hair color, even of the natural hair colors, like an unnatural version of blonde, an unnatural version of ginger, that's going to do a lot of the work for you. And you're not going to have to worry so much about putting a bunch of shit on. It's really amazing what your hair can do. And that's the same thing with style. If you have long hair, I feel you have to do more for your outfit to stand out. And that's not all long hair, just like super long hair. Meanwhile, that's why I have short hair most of the time, because I feel like it's easier to accessorize, if you get what I mean. It's easier to maintain. It's quicker to style. And it has its own very bold identity. If you're looking for something bold, I would suggest getting like a choppier or edgier hairstyle, because that's going to do a lot more for that boldness versus like a softer look. Yeah, long hair really works for that actually. But I've just been using my hair for a long time as a main marker of who I am and what I like, and whatever I like at the time, my hair is kind of a reflection of, you know what I mean? So I think hair works, accessories work, and they are interchangeable. If you have the hair, you don't always need the accessories. You know what I mean? It's definitely interchangeable. Those are two different ways to accessorize, as well as shoes and bags. Don't forget about shoes and bags. Like, I wore this super basic ass outfit, and then I wore these fur boots, these fur Nike boots. They're super awesome. I would pull them out for you, but they're in my closet. And I wore this cowboy hat. And then the look was just like, oh, this is perfect now, without having really to do much at all. And that's what accessories do for you. Like, also statement shirts, but that's another thing. If you have a statement piece, you might not need to accessorize. There's a lot of things. It's like whatever is bringing contrast. Contrast is kind of an important part of fashion. I would say it's a rule that is not super... It doesn't feel like a prison. It feels like actually fun to play with contrast in outfits. So I feel like you could have muted or dark colors, bright color, pastel color, different patterns. Don't be afraid to clash patterns. Don't be afraid to wear several patterns. Don't be afraid to do whatever you want with it. I feel like that's what you should be doing with your fashion and style. What do you actually like? And one way that you can figure this out as well is by blocking out outside sources for a little bit, getting to know yourself, spend some time alone with yourself, see what you naturally gravitate towards too. Now, this is in the realm of everything. It's like hobbies, music, the way you do your makeup, the way you like your hair on yourself. Like, how do you like it? How does it look when you like it, when you feel your best? Because another thing, fashion should also be about feeling your best. Like, it makes me feel so much better to put on an outfit or do my makeup or do my hair. It makes me feel a million times better because I feel like myself, So that's one thing you got to remember about it too, is you should be doing it for your own happiness, not necessarily to fit into someone else's version of what they think peak style is, or to impress anyone, or don't change yourself for anyone, because there have been times where I've been in relationships and I've dressed accordingly, and that should never be the case. Don't dress accordingly to whoever you're dating. That's a great way to not know who you are, and that's pretty hard to come back from. I definitely have done that a couple of times and really regretted it, because then I had all these clothes that I didn't like because I was trying to make that person like me. But the gag is they should like me no matter how I dress, because it's the way that I dress and they like me, Never do anything for anyone else's validation, especially when it comes to fashion. But that's my main philosophy with life. Another thing is, not all accessories have to be practical, functional. Look at this. This is a bubble wand. This could be my accessory if I wanted it to. A lot of people laugh when they see people do things over the top like this, like stick a keyboard on their t-shirt or something. But this is what the kids call whimsy, okay? This is fun. This is a way where you can be like a fucking video game character. That's another thing. You are a character when it comes to fashion. And it's not necessarily that you have to do things that align with that character, because you're not actually like a two-dimensional character. You're like all over there, multifaceted being. So you're going to build yourself as an extremely complex character. So complex, it's the first one ever in a video game that complex. How about that? And you're doing your character customization, and you can change that at any time. It's not set. This is a special game. This is like what life is, okay? And you can do things that don't make sense to other people because it's what you like. You can carry around a bubble wand. It depends on where you are. You're probably not going to get arrested. You're probably going to be okay. Just have fun with it. That's my advice on fashion. Honestly, just have fun. Let your intuition lead you towards things that you actually like, you actually enjoy, things that, give you fucking butterflies when you look at them. I know when I saw this at the Dollar Tree, I was like, I need to have this, and now I have it, and I don't regret this purchase. Not in the slightest. But just, lead yourself towards what you like. Don't try to fit into anyone else's standards. Gamify it a bit. Even with a real video game. Shout out to Style Savvy once again. You guys should play Style Savvy. I would say if you want the most payoff when it comes to styling yourself, play Styling Star or Fashion Forward or Trendsetters. You can play the original, but I would just say those ones are they're a little bit more advanced. You get a little bit more options, and it's less pixelated than the original. It's very fun. Or Dress to Impress. Or one thing that I would like to say, you should play like an early 2000s girls dress up flash game. They have a lot of those on different archive sites. Go and play them. They're a lot of fun. Your choices will lead you, and then you'll know what you like. I think why a lot of women also already know what they like is because, especially if you were born or grew up in the early 2000s, most of it was fashions based. Like, it was all fashion based, and that's what everyone was playing. Every girl that at least was playing. And I feel like that led to a lot of young women with very complicated and complex style, because you're already being fed this fashion content the moment that you gain consciousness. So you kind of have an idea of what you like and what you don't like and what's cute to you. So I think, like, even if you're not a girl, I think delving into women's fashion really does help everyone. Women's fashion has so many more choices. Don't let gender be the thing that stops you from expressing yourself any way you'd like with your fashion. Like, shop in the women's section. I shopped in the men's section for a long period of my life, and it made me feel like nice. I can wear this stuff too. Like, there should be no segregation when it comes to fashion. You should be able to wear what you want to wear, regardless of the gender assigned to whatever pair of pants you want to wear. I did want to say something else, but I'll have to remember. Oh. Okay. One place where you can also, you know how I said you can have people that you're inspired by? Think about media that you're inspired by. A good choice is anime, because with anime, there's a lot of fashion and a lot of fashion choices that you might not otherwise have seen. Anime, cartoons, whatever. What characters do you usually gravitate towards? Or what art style do you usually gravitate towards? A lot of that will tell you what you like stylistically, because you're analyzing the styles of the show or the fashion choices in the show. So you're able to understand. That illustrates a bit to you, like, who do I relate to? Why do I relate to them? Do I want to be like them? Am I already like them? Who would I want to be like? Things like that are questions that you ask yourself when you're taking the anime or cartoons route when it comes to being inspired by characters. This even applies to being inspired by real people, actually. You got to think, which people am I consistently attracted to in the sense of style? And that will point a direction for you. You'll kind of understand, oh, okay, I usually like this. And one last thing, I would like to plug China. So China is fashion heaven. It's low-key so underrated. fashion is on a whole different level in China. I take a lot of my inspo from China, from Chinese influencers. Go on Xiaohongshu, go on Red Note, okay? You're going to find a lot of fashion inspo of looks that you never thought were possible. These Chinese girls know what they're doing. And I'm sure that it's like that for the male side of Xiaohongshu. I've just been on like the female side pretty much, like the girly side. But those people will teach you how to do your makeup. They'll teach you how to do your hair. They'll teach you how to fucking everything, dude. They'll teach you how to dress. If you want like a guidebook on how to dress, just go on Xiaohongshu. And it's not even that they'll teach you, but you'll be able to analyze a complex look that you might not have seen where you are, because they really throw down. That's the only way that I can say it. They're so fucking fashionable over in China. Shout out China. I love China. China forever. It's literally the best. So look for Chinese influencers. They're probably outdressing you. One last thing. If you want some fashion advice, go onto Pinterest and look up Sonic fan art. So Sonic fan art, I don't even hate to say this. I found that there's this one artist who's consistently making Sonic fan art, and it's like the best style inspo I've ever seen in my life. Like the way that this artist is drawing these Sonic characters to be super dripped out, super cool. I would say look up Sonic fan art. That is my devious recommendation that no one else will tell you. If you look up, what's her name? What's the white Sonic? What the hell is her name? She's like a bat. The one that's a bat. Look up her fan art. Wow. Any of the Sonic girls, I'm not sure if he's done it with Sonic and Shadow and Tails, but fitted. So yeah, I guess the conclusion is just do whatever the hell you want. Don't be afraid to take inspiration from other people. Don't be afraid to steer away from whatever's hot right now if you know it's not genuinely something that you like. You know, just do whatever the hell that you want to do. Nobody genuinely needs to teach you. It's a journey that you take yourself on. It takes time. It takes like years to even get the wardrobe that you want to get, but it's worth it because you get to know yourself better. And I hope that answered all the questions about fashion and style. That's really all I have to say. But I did enjoy filming this here episode of Yapology 101, which is episode 9. And I want to thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. And don't forget to comment, like, and especially subscribe if you've been here for more than one episode. You must subscribe. And that's going to be the end of it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.